Okay, so I'd been going around in circles with this uh, making a simple button and getting myself into a mess because, of course, ordinary buttons allow icons, and my simple button, I was going to have to chuck all the icon stuff in there. But I've got a grip. So it's time for another detour into trying to fix my GUI, which I had not intended, but this will be worth it. Simple button will no longer exist as it stands on its own. Nor, in fact, will the two varieties of my button. What's going to happen is I'm going to simplify the my button gadget so that it only has one variety, or that it's just standard. And I'll extend my button. I'm going to leave the toggle button functionality in my button. It's a handy thing to be able to do, and it will carry over to the other buttons. You need to use it with a bit of care, maybe. So I'm just going to be bold, and I am going to start simplifying my button. I'm pretty sure that as the code stands, the recursor code stands, I'm not making use of any bare buttons. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that. It's going to instantly start causing problems. I changed the way the buttons handle their text size. This is a thing that did make sense at one point when I thought buttons could maybe have things that changed size, text that changed size. Now I just changed my mind. It ended up looking bad too often, and I thought, nah, you decide your text size, and if it goes off the side of the button, then I may come back and put in something about, you know. At the moment, the text will be, you'll be able to set the size of the text on the button. That will mean making some changes, but hey-ho. Icon and icon rect will stay, that will stay, and that will stay. That will stay, I guess. Yeah, it does make sense. Toggle flag and value will stay. And this will be called not a, this will be called true costume and false costume, I think. Let me see. Set value. Costume normal. Yeah, right. So if the value is false, normal is false costume. Man. No, maybe I should just leave them in and out costume. That kind of makes more sense. I am. I am. It's just more confusing to think about. In fact, I've already confused myself. I'll call it in costume and out costume. And I will just leave it setting those up as it did. That's going to go. Set up. Okay, yeah. This is going to go. And there's a little K there on the end. That's got to go. I hope I'm not using that anywhere. Pretty sure I'm not. And I'm pretty sure I'm not fussing with the border size either anywhere. Okay, so onwards and onwards. Icon in font color. Man, that is quite a tedious little thing. But anyway, this is all going to go There's going to be no such thing as standard or bare things. Update toggle costumes. Update toggle costumes. Right, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so you can instantiate a button and then make it a toggling button afterwards, and that will make sure that this knows this. But to be honest, that is pointless. These are only... No, I should keep that in. I suppose, like, you know, if I was a good programmer, costume would be a private member of gadget, and I would call, you know, a set costume method. It wouldn't be a property because there are many costumes. For the time being, I will keep that as it is, and I will make a value property. This just returns true. That is absolutely absurd. Look at this code of mine. This bit will stay the same as well. That bit will stay the same. This will not. This will just mean a text size equals s. Oh man. Do I want to just make this into a property? I suppose I do, really. Yeah. Property text size. It's really just sort of passing float return text size setter s float text size equals s and finish resize. It is kind of why I'm going to just take that out. I'm going to be prepared for the fact that may cause problems. Set icon and set icon size I will just live with. Finish draw. That's something which I'll have to replicate in, well, some of the things that yeah, actually, not much. This basically all I'm doing now with this is nothing. I should really just take out the NTS all the time. NTS is just basically saying all this stuff that NTS, like this value, is required because I was doing a lot of faffing to resize the text label on a button when actually it's a bit of a waste of time. And look at all this, everything. Okay, I just think that I want to get rid of any reference to text size. So like, I really don't need to do anything here, as a matter of fact. Here, the text is just the size it is. I don't set the text size. Here, the only thing that ever happens I never change the text size. The thing I might do is alter the icon size. And the only thing that I'm just looking at this bit of logic here, and without even really thinking very hard about it, I'm saying I've got an icon, it's got a determined size, I've figured out the size of the icon. Now I have to alter this, display H, whatever that means, which I don't really need to know. I just need to know that in the circumstances where I'm not justifying left or right, the height needs to, So actually here I can say if, if justify is greater or less than justify left, and justify is greater or less than justify right, that happens. Man, I am gonna possibly be making so many problems for myself here. It's not even funny, but okay. Right. So that's a button reduced a bit. I think I'm going to be bold and just take these things out, take these extra pieces right out. I have old versions of many old versions of this code which I can go back to and just take it all back if I... This just doesn't belong. This doesn't belong. This no longer belongs, nor does this. Now, so this is a cleaner gadget, and I'm just going to go for this as well. I'm going to say nope. The way... Oh man. Okay, here's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to take this finish resize and I'm going to shift it out. I have much junk at the end of GUI. Look at that, a whole tree view. Old my button finish resize with text target size. Get rid of all this horrible stuff. Maybe I'll stick it into another type of button. You know, I can make a button with clever text if you think that resizing the size of your text in your button is something you do actually want, then fine, be my guest. Okay. Now I dare say I've caused some problems for myself. But let's have some other types of button. Class bare button, which I will misspell hilariously and often. Extends my button. End and class simple button extends my button. Now these are both very similar to button. Bare button. The only difference with bare button, the only difference with bare button is that it gets set up with no costumes, or with blank costumes, and it has a rectangle costume. I shouldn't have really have deleted all that stuff. It would have been easier. But anyway, the new part of it is very, very similar, basically the same. And everything else it does is the same. Except here it says 0, 0, 0, 0, cos d blank. And I also say something like, I'll just look up what it was I said before. Oh, no, I can't. What an idiot I am. Okay, right. No, because I only took the one little bit of that. Okay, well, it's something like a costume state covered equals cos d, man, what was it, like dark rectangle, and costume state held equals cos d bright rectangle. New rectangle. That'll do. We'll see how that works. Now, and also simple button. Why do I feel like I've written simple button before? It's because I have. Right there. Yeah. 17 minutes in, I'm losing my mind. Right, the difference with a simple button is that it remains completely bare. It never draws a normal. But a simple button does possess some other things. It possesses the things that are in a simple button. Let's just go back here to simple button. Yeah. So it'll have this, and it'll have these. Well, keep color, set to color. Don't need. So and I'll start from here. Not this. I cut out, and I plop into here, and actually I'll just stick the whole lot in. Now I think that that's pretty much it. Oh, I also do need to do the bit about the what on earth? I really actually seriously storing that. Oh, yeah, I am in my button. How clever of me. But also I do need the other thing from Finish Draw, which is the icon. Now, I am forced to ask myself, what is the difference between this and a bare button? Right, the difference between this and a bare button is the bare button relies on costumes, and this just relies on a color. You just set its color and it automatically assigns a pair of other colors. And that's it. I mean, not all that delighted by it, but in a sense, this is now simple button, and it has an icon, and it has everything that a normal button has, and it can be made into a toggle button. It won't work very well as a toggle button, to be fair. No, in fact, it won't work as a toggle button. I'd have to change it, but I don't care just now. Frankly, I have been annoyed with myself for being yet again sidetracked by thinking about GUI details. I'm very susceptible to doing it because I find GUI details kind of interesting. Well, who knows what problems I've just created for myself, but back up in where? Pungadget new, simple buttons. No. I think if you think again, oh no, it does want a. Okay, it wants a text color. Damn. I took the new thing. Okay, right. Scratch. These are okay, because they're just having. I do need to be able to pass the. Yeah, okay, fine. What I'm accepting here is that these all use the default colors. Because I still basically want the same things passed into, like here. Let me just have a little look at this. Yeah, it has to be the same, basically. Setting the colors is something you will do, or that you will just have to do afterwards. Excuse me, because the border size. Did I actually decide border size was a waste of time? Maybe not. It's all coming with. And it's going in there. And set color C. And this, if not C, it's a dark grey. So this just sets color and sets color. And we get dark grey and white as the defaults. And was my microphone just off? I don't know. 1 second. Private. My mic. Grr. Right, so these things are going now with the default simple buttons. This has been quite an insane struggle. Right here, I got sidetracked all the way around there. Align sides. The add button must be aligned high and proportional. So it's stuck to the right hand side and it stays in the middle. This unfortunately make it change height if the gadget it's in changes height. This is a problem, same problem I had with the color buttons in the gradient set editor. But I don't care, it'll be good enough. Now while I'm here, I'm going to go to work say show controls equals false. My mic, god damn it, 1 second again. Lie down. Did you just hear me shout at my dog? Yeah, basically. So close to smashing that thing. Okay. Here I want to say if show controls flag equals v return. Can I just do that? I hope so. Because I don't want to faff around updating gadgets and everything if the show controls is already as it was, because here I am going to say show controls, damn it, yeah, equals false. And here I'm going to say show controls equals false. Oh man. How do I make the logic for this? It's like I could out here just say show controls equals true, and then it just gets set to false immediately afterwards. What I'm got a funny feeling about though, no, I will just do this, is about exiting the gadget, releasing the button, and having the controls still gone. It's not a massive problem because they would appear again the minute the mouse is over it, but actually I don't think that'll happen. I think that this would still be called as the mouse leaves the gadget. Show controls will be set to true, covered gadget will be found to be something else. So I think it'll work, but we'll see. That's one aspect. Now I also need to remember that add view, is that what it's called? Add button is here, and so I need to go into the image viewer, new, no, not new, it's add view. Here where I say this is close response, or actually npg add button set event response. Now this should be add response. That's not great, but it's what it's going to be. These probably should be like you know, lambdas. Anyway, here I am. Method add a response, void e GUI space event. Now, okay, I have to say if e kind equals event kind released on, then I need to just add view. And in, was that screwy nap? Was it screwy nap in here? I think hiding controls like it was true. I think I want to take these away. For now. We'll see how it responds. Now, I've just done a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see what happens. I'm expecting large numbers of errors. Yeah, okay. Whoa. Let's just get down to it. Text size actually equals this. See, because I'm a clever man. text size actually equals this. And again, did you know actually text size equals that? Let's see the next ones. Targets text size set up window base. That is what actually happens. You just get font large. Tool button. That's what it gets. Let's see the next problem. Oh, I meant text size. Sorry. I have a feeling this is going to cause me some problems. Shouldn't do too much. My button, all this. Okay, right, something up here, kind 0. Okay, well, there weren't very many. Well, it remains to be seen. That's inside set columns, deep inside the tree, no, the table view class, no, the table class. That's my table view class. Okay, well, let's just see. If I run it with the debugger off, what a genius I am. 31 minutes and it's running again. Okay, not bad timing. Let's see. So what am I expecting to happen? I'm expecting, if this is in any way worked, I'm expecting the buttons to appear a little bit different. They're not actually going to appear right, now that I realise that they're not going to have their transparent backs, but that's okay. And, whoa, check it out. How on earth? Everything which is a normal button, anything where I didn't determine the text size, it set it to be big. These things actually kind of look like they're working. It's not, they're not really drawing themselves correctly. That is incredible. There's no X. These things haven't disappeared. Whoa, okay, loads of problems. Now they've gone to the back. Okay, right. So, first problem. Buttons. My button. New. Text is just a thing. I don't pass in a text size now. I can just set a text size. So I'm going to say text size equals font medium. Let's see if that's the one thing that solves that problem for starters. Okay, well, that's pleasurable to see. Let's have a look at this again. Every single thing wrong, because of course that has a different instantiator, constructor. Once again, text size equals font medium. And I suppose that if I'm being clever, I should nip in here as well and say text size equals font medium. Right. Inside this icon is not being set, so I better get inside this and say icon equals icon color flag equals IFC. If BS is greater than that, all this BS is BS. Like, I need basically all of this, don't I? It does this stuff with the color. I don't need to do this bit because I've already set up. And I should really, just for the sake of prettiness, I feel, put this maybe here. Okay, so that'll have solved some of my problems. Let's see what happens now. There's nothing in a normal button cleanup. I'm pondering why those buttons aren't disappearing. Okay. Yeah, and maybe I'm it's IFC, right? Interesting. Right, well, I can see some things are happening. They dim when I move them. Many of these are being drawn twice. Open latest is only being drawn once. This has got 2 views. That's why 1. Insane. There's fit that's still down there. I'm surprised that came up at all. Oh man. Wow. Okay, so now the things are disappearing and appearing. I see no sign of my add button. Enter and space, of course, will stop doing anything. Okay, well, I've made some problems for myself here, clearly. What are the problems? First off, this needs to be drawn the icon font color. Secondly, their little borders are not being drawn. Thirdly, there's clearly some massive problem with this because it seems like something very wrong happens. What's the first problem? Well, okay, right, first off, I'm going to say that by default the IFC in this is true. So often. And actually, why is it? Inside here, and inside Pungadget, and inside new, I set it to be true. And inside simple button, finish draw, I draw it in that. Now, I am pretty sure man, think about this more. It means that something about cos d blank. I bet if I go to GUI classes, costume definition, and go to generate defaults, find costume definition blank, it's white. Color set is white. Oh right, okay, and a set of color set. Okay, right. And the quality of text is black, standard. Okay, okay. So, do I just make a new skin here? Cluck, cluck, cluck. I'm getting confused. Not confused, but I'm getting, I'm thinking, which is the best course of action? Because right. Oh man, it means a new color set. And it means blank skin, square image, call set D white. Man oh man, here I am again, 42 minutes in, considering like what's the best way to do this, the easiest thing to do. If I look at GUI one more time and think, I want to take on the font's color, but the problem here is I'm not using this color, but that's okay because actually I have the text color, it's just text color. So I can just use, what on earth, color, font. This is a nice little way to do it. Text color, AV. And here I ought to use text color, AV. And I think I will just stipulate blend mode alpha. Excuse me. Okay, so that'll make the icons appear the right color. This apparently not working at all. Dark grey, 1.3, 2.0. Don't know why that isn't working. Okay, right, let me see. I think that will have sorted that little bit about the color. But the here add button CX face width minus button height CY face height divided by 2 minus button height divided by 2. Oh, it needs something. It needs well, actually for the time being I'll just give it a plus because I don't think I really I've got a kind of a plus but not something totally suitable. So let's have another look. problems upon problems, as always. And I don't want to carry on too much longer in this video because I really have just... It feels like an awful lot of faffing, and I know that it really is. It's silly of me to get so bogged down in a way. Okay, let's have a look at yours. There's a little plus, how beautiful. And it works. And this goes away, and that goes away. This still doesn't go away. Bring me back to the image viewer. One goes away. Can't see my plus. If this comes up, look at that. Something, it's like it's... This one now is fine. No, it's not. Some of this is fine, some of this is not. Fit and 1.1 are being drawn twice. Save image, load image, not. And the cross not. The plus has gone, and from here and now the plus is back. Okay, I don't think okay. Well, I guess this should actually be aligned right for starters. That'll help. What on earth is now happening when I open an image viewer? New view never gets used. Hiding controls flag I think is never going to be used. Oops. That is now within the... It's now done inside the pun gadget. Gradient editor. If these things hide them, do that. Do that. Add a view. When a view is added, excuse me, views, add last pung, arrange views, return NPG. I don't need to return it anymore, but anyway. Arrange views, each in views, v-arrange, clean up. How have I managed to make this go so strangely wrong? View, remove, views, clear, pick directory is this, gradient editor, that, show. What exactly happens when pun gadget gets opened? Simple button, simple button, simple button. These things are that. That's all still working correctly. Showing latest. Show controls flag. State. I don't think either of these are being used. New parent. With this, with blank. Does all this, sets up these things, then updates gadgets. In update gadgets, it just looks at the show controls flag. Lots and lots of shows and hide, but all that should be fine. I'm baffled. Mic going off again. I'm not going to drag this out much longer. It's gone okay. Like I've got these buttons like nearly working. Actually not quite, but what do I say if p equals dit dit? It's still drawing everything twice. Like, how on earth? Yeah, those little buttons stay in the right place now. That's something. Now it's doing it right. Something goes wrong. I'm going to say if p equals dit dit, but that is, I'm sure that's effectively the same. I mean, that's me clutching at straws. Okay, I'm going to call it a day here, and I will investigate. Like, that is just not right. Why is everything... First off, well, I suppose I can see why it would draw brighter. Why is it being drawn twice? Why is it not receiving its dark border? Why is this thing here? How am I able to open all of these? Insane. It's not displaying it. Oh my goodness, what on earth? Okay, wild. Let me just before I stop, let me just get into this. Not that. This. Yeah. Somehow it is getting a view. It's got a view in its list when it gets newed. Well, it should have one view. It gets a new list. It says Pung Gadget. It goes add view. Doesn't need to say this. I'll take it out. I'll just say add view. It goes straight to add view. Creates a Pung Gadget. Loads the Pung into it. Takes the responses and takes the ultimate event response. It doesn't need to do that anymore. I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it. Views, add last, NPG, arrange views. Like, I'm really sure, I don't see how on earth that little work thing could have anything to do with it, so I basically disbelieve that it did. But I am going to just, I've made the change, what the hell, I'll run it again. And after this, this is dragged out. Really, really dragged out. Yeah, still the same problems. Didn't indeed need to do that. And still there. It still reckons there's a... Yeah, and it senses the little button. It knows they're there. When on earth am I making a Pung view? Just when? I don't get it. One little thing. New pun gadget. That is it. That's the one time I create a new pun gadget. I am going to solve this problem next time.